Hi all, how's it going? In today's lesson, we are going to take a look at some grammar and we are going to do some vocabulary. So, but before we start, let's take a look at this picture. What can you see here? We have a boy, and you can say the boy broke the window. Okay, but a few hours later, let's see what happens. What do we have here? We have maybe a broken window, and the question is, where is the subject here? Can you see the subject in the picture? How can you describe what happened? Maybe some of you are going to say, the window is broken. We don't know what's the subject. We don't have a subject in the picture. But we know the object, which is the window, and it is broken. Okay. You know what you call this? Let's take a look again at what happened. First we have the boy, who said the boy broke the window, and then a few hours later, here we have something else, and we have a broken window, and where is the subject in the picture? We don't have a subject. And how can you describe what happened? You are going to say the window was broken. So we have the first statement here, the boy broke the window, and here we have the window was broken. Okay. Do you know what you call this? This is the passive voice. What is passive voice? Let's see. In this lesson, first let's take a look at what I'm going to do today. We are going to do grammar. What is active voice and what is passive voice? How do you form a passive voice with a past simple tense? How can we derive passive voice forms from other types of tenses, and from active to passive and vice versa. And we are going to do some vocabulary. We are going to talk about take and make. Okay, let's start. What is passive voice? What is passive voice? Passive voice, and when do we use it? Passive voice is an inversion in the structure of the sentence. What does that mean? Let's see. Here we have active voice. In the active voice, we have first the subject, and then the verb, and then the object. In the passive voice, we have first the object, we have auxiliary, which is verb to be, and then we have verb free, and then we have the subject. Let's take a look at an example. We have the boy, which is subject, broke, which is the verb, and the window, which is the object. Now we are going to take this one, which is the object, and we are going to put it here. So we are going to start with it. So this is the object here, and we are going to take this and change it. We are going to add before it an auxiliary, which is verb to be, which is am, is, are, was, or were. And so we are going to say the window was broken, and then we are going to add the subject, but I'm going to use before it by the boy. So this is active voice, we know this, and this is the passive voice. This is somehow new for us. Okay, so this is a kind of an inversion. We change the structure of the sentence. Okay, but why do we use it and when? Actually, we use it when we don't know who did the action. Remember the boy and the picture and the broken window? Maybe if I don't know who did the action, who broke the window, I might use the passive voice. So if I don't know who did the action, I'm going to use the passive voice. Or we don't want to say, maybe you did something and you don't want to say that I did this. you are going to say, I found this broken. But maybe you did that, but you don't want to be blamed for it. Sometimes also use it when you want to give the object more importance. I want to stress it. It means that I want to give it more importance. Like here, the boy is more here. Like here, the window is more important than the boy. So I'm going to give this more importance. I don't care about this part. Maybe I'm going to omit it later on. I'm going to say the window was broken and that's it. I don't care who did the action, but what I care about is the window, which is broken. Okay. Now, if you open your book on page 90, we have some activities. We have grammar, passive verbs. The first in each pair of sentences below is active, and the second is passive. Let's take a look at these sentences. We have the first one, مدرسة يوم scratched the message on wood. We are going to say the message was scratched on wood by مدرسة يوم. And Bologna's father found the sailor's bottle. We are going to say the sailor's bottle was found by Bologna's father. What is the difference? The first question is, what is the difference between the two sentences in each pair? Can you tell which one is active and which one is passive? Maybe the first one here is active. Here this one is active. You are going to tell me. And this one is passive. And the same story here. Okay. Are these statements about active and passive sentences true or false? Active and passive sentences give different information. Do you think these sentences give different information? No, we have the same amount of information, but we have maybe a different way to deliver the information. So this is false. Active and passive sentences use different verb forms. Do you think they use different verb forms? Let's take a look here at the verb. We have scratch, which is verb 2, and here was scratched. We have here an auxiliary, and then we have this one is verb 3. So that's true, they use different verb forms. Active and passive sentences have different subjects or focuses, and this one also is true. Here we have a different subject, because here we have the object, it became here subject. So now let's take a look. They say, look at sentences 1 to 3 below and answer the questions. The message was being written by a passenger as the ship sank. The date of the meeting has been changed. You were phoned at 7:45 this evening. How is the passive formed? Can you tell me how the passive voice is formed? We said, remember what we say? We say we need verb to be plus verb 3. In sentence 1, who wrote the message? Let's take a look at this sentence. Who wrote the message here? The message was being written by a passenger. So by this guy as the ship. We have a passenger, a person on the ship wrote the message. In sentence 2, who changed the date of the meeting? The date of the meeting has been changed. Do you know who changed it? Sometimes we don't know. As I told you, sometimes we don't know who did the action. So we don't know who is the subject. So we are going to say we don't know. In sentence 3, who phoned and why isn't this information given? In this sentence, who phoned? You were phoned. You were phoned, but we don't know who called you or who phoned you. You were found at 7:45 this evening. Why isn't this information given? Maybe you don't know, maybe it's not important. Okay. Now, question number 3. What have these things got in common? Write 2 sentences about each set. They give us some information and we need to form sentences. We have messages, books, and letters. We are going to say, people write messages, books, and letters. This is the active voice. And we have messages, books, and letters are written. So this is the passive voice. Okay, and also I want you to write on this sentence, use tennis, football, and golf, and we have jeans, t-shirt, and shoes. I want you to write 2 active sentences on these 2 and then make them into passive. You have 2 minutes. Okay, now we finished. Let's take a look at the answers. What are we going to say? Here we are going to say, people play tennis, football, and golf. This is the active, and this is the subject, and this is the verb, and this is the object. We are going to take this object, put it at the beginning here, and we are going to do some changing. So here we are going to say tennis, football, and golf are played. People wear jeans, t-shirts, and shoes. The same story here. We are going to say t-shirts, jeans, and shoes are worn. Okay, now let's take a look at some steps to form sentences from active into passive. To make any sentence into passive, you need 6 steps. Let's take a look at them. The first one, you need to identify the subject, the verb, and the object in your sentence. The next one, move the object to make it the subject of our new sentence. The third one, what is the verb tense in the active sentence? You need to identify the tense of the active sentence. The fourth one, you have to use the verb to be to fit with the new subject. So if it is singular, we are going to use singular. If it is plural, we are going to use a plural, and so on. The next one, you have to add the past participle or verb free after the be. And then you have to add the subject and use before it the word by. Sometimes we don't need that. Let's take a look at this in action. Here we have a boy, and you can see this boy is we are going to say, the boy ate the cake, and I came home and I see this. What I'm going to say? Let's take a look at the steps again. Identify the subject, verb, and the object. This is the subject, the boy, and this is the verb, ate, and this is the object, the cake. The next step, move the object to make it the subject of our new sentence. I'm going to take this one, which is the object, and I'm going to make it the new subject here. And then, what is the verb tense in the active sentence? What is the tense here? What type of sentence is this? The boy ate the cake. Something happened in the past, and so this is past simple. Okay, now use the verb be to fit with your new subject. I'm going to say the cake, this is the new subject, was eaten. I'm not going to say were eaten or is eaten, because here I have this is in the past. Okay, I'm going to say the cake was eaten And then what do I have to do? The next step, add the past participle. I'm going to add after this was verb free from ate, which is eaten. And then the last step, I have to add the subject and use before it by. I'm going to say the cake was eaten by the boy. Was it easy? Okay. When dealing with the passive voice, we need to do some changes according to the tense of sentences. Let's take a look. What we have in our book, we care about just past simple. This is what we care about. But if it happens and you see other types of sentences, you have some idea. Okay, here we have the present simple. Here I write a letter, it becomes a letter is written. And if we have here something, letters, forget about this A. I write letters, let's say. What I'm going to say, I write letters, it's going to become letters where letters are written. Okay, if this happens. So I'm going to change the verb to be according to the new subject. Okay, let's take a look here. I write a letter, it's going to become a letter is written. I'm writing a letter, it's going to become a letter is being written. I wrote a letter, which this type I care about in my book. A letter was written. The past continuous, I was writing a letter was being written. The present perfect, I have written a letter has been written. I had written a letter, which is the past perfect. I'm going to say a letter had been written. And future simple, I will write a letter. It's going to become a letter will be written. And the going to, I'm going to write a letter. It's going to become a letter is going to be written. And here we have the modal and the modal perfect. We have I must write a letter. It's going to become a letter must be written. And I should have written a letter should have been written. Okay, this is just if you want to take a more in-depth look, you can study this maybe for next year, maybe for your future study. Okay. Now, but what I care about is this one, the past simple. Okay. Now we have some practice. What I want you to know, what I want you to do now is rewrite the sentences about early postal services. Start with the words given and change the underlying verbs into passive. The Chinese introduced a postal service in about 1200 BCE. We are going to say a postal service. You remember the 6 steps? Now, I want to identify what do we have in the sentence. I want to know where is the subject, where is the verb, and what is the tense. And I'm going to do some changes. So here, this is the object. A postal service was introduced. This is verb 2, so I'm going to add was, and this is singular, was introduced by the Chinese in about 1200 BCE. Now, what I want you to do is stop the video, try to do them. You have 5 minutes. Okay? Were they easy? Let's take a look. At first, the Chinese used this service mainly for government documents. What is the object here? At first, this service, so this service is the object. We are going to say used is going to become this service was used by Chinese government. Okay, by Chinese for government documents. Let's take a look at the answers. The first one was used by the Chinese mainly for government documents, and the next one, originally, they sent messages using fire and smoke. We are going to say originally, messages were sent using fire and smoke. The Romans organized a an advanced postal system. A very advanced postal system was organized by the Romans. And the next one, they developed a system of postal roads with many places where tired riders passed messages to other fresh riders. We are going to say a system of postal roads was developed, and we are going to say were passed by tired riders to other fresh riders. The next one we have the Romans sent messages 270 kilometers in 24 hours by this system. We are going to say messages were sent by the Romans 270 kilometers in 24 hours by this system. And the last one we have, Britain introduced the first postage stamps in 1840. And the object is the first postage stamps were introduced in Britain in 1840. Now, I want you to take a look at this sentence also. I want you to rewrite the active voice. I want to rewrite the sentences about modern communication. Start with the words given and change the underlying verbs into active. Now we are going to work vice versa. We are going to change. We are going to work from passive into active. Take a look at this example. In the 21st century, mobile phones are used for phone calls and text messages. We are going to say in the 21st century, people use mobile phones for phone calls and text messages. Stop the video and do them. You have also 5 minutes. Okay, let's take a look at the answers. The next one, phone calls are made to friends whenever they are. We are going to say people. Here we are going to, what is the object in this sentence? Phone calls are made to, the object is omitted in this passive. So we are going, but we know they have given us this object, this new subject, which is the object, because this object here is deleted. But we know who used these, so they are people. We are going to say people make phone calls to friends whenever they are. Text messages are sent over very long distances very cheaply. We are going to say people send text messages over very long distances very cheaply. And also here, the messages are written very quickly and are received by their friends a few seconds later. We are going to say people write these messages very quickly and their friends receive them a few seconds later. Businesses are using emails more and more, and the last one, in some organizations, email has replaced traditional letters or memos. Okay. In this part, we are going to talk about different uses of take and make. Let's take a look at these pictures. See. Take a look here, 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 and here. Make money. What is the meaning of make money? Make cars. Make an appointment, and make doesn't happen these days for you. When somebody make their children to study. Take a look at take. Take a coat. Take a car. What is the meaning of take a car? We're going to say take a taxi. Take tablets or medicine. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay, if you open your book on Unit 11, the vocabulary section, we have verbs with more one meaning. So take and make actually sometimes have different meanings, and they are used a lot in English. We often need to read words in a sentence to understand the right meaning. So if we have a sentence, it's very important to understand what do we have before and after. So what does the verb take mean in these sentences? I want you to take a look at the sentence. Here we have, this is the verb take. But take a look at what do we have before and after. We call this context clues. When we have something called, when we have a new or a foreign word, we don't know the meaning of this word, we are going to take a look at the neighboring words. What comes after it and what comes before it. So we are going to understand or try to understand what is the meaning of this word. Now, let's take a look at the question again. What does the verb take mean in sentences 1 to 4? They gave me some options. We have carry, steal, swallow, travel by. The first one. He takes his father's car without asking. So can you guess what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of take here? Take. It could mean steal. So he steals his father's car without asking. I am too tired to walk. Let's take a taxi. Take a look at the neighborings. What comes before and what comes after. Let's take a taxi. What is the meaning of take a taxi? We have the options carry a taxi, swallow, or travel by. So what is the correct answer? Let's travel by a taxi. You'd better take your coat. It might be cold later. We have take. You'd better take your coat. Which one is the correct answer? To carry. Take your coat. It means to carry it. I've got a bad headache, so I'm going to take some tablets. What is the meaning of take here? It means swallow. Yes. Now, what does the verb make mean in sentences 1 to 4? Choose the meanings from the list. Also make the same story with take. Make can have different meaning. They gave me some options. Here the first one, attend. The next one, earn. The third one is force someone to. And the next one is produce. Let's take a look at the sentences. My parents made me tidy my room before I went to bed. What is the meaning of made? My parents made me. Let's take a look at the neighboring words. My parents made me tidy. What is the meaning of? It means force someone to. So they forced him to tidy his bedroom. They make Volvo cars in Sweden. They make Volvo cars. What is the meaning of make here? It means produce. The next one. How much does he make a year? He make a year. What do we mean here? How much does he make a year? When you want somebody to ask somebody about his salary, you might ask him, how much do you make a year? He is going to tell you maybe 100, 200, etc. So it means earn. I'm sorry, but I can't make the meeting tomorrow. You might tell this like your boss or somebody like this. I can't make it. What is it? I can't make the meeting. It means I can't attend the meeting. Okay. Now, let's take a look. Here we have people. We are going to talk about people. People have different words are used with them in different situations. Let's take a look at these situations. Find the correct definitions 1 to 6 for these people. Boss, colleague, customer, passenger, patient, spectator. He or she watches a sport. What do we use? What do we call the person who watches sport? Maybe you call him spectator. Buys things in a shop. What do you call the person who, if you went to the shop, who are you? You are a customer. Is having medical treatment. Somebody is having a medical treatment in a hospital. What do we call him? He is a patient. Okay. Travels by plane, bus, or train. The person who travels and he is not the driver. Who is he? He is a passenger. Is your manager at work? Your manager at work, what do you call him? He is called a boss. Now, works with you. Somebody works with you. What do you call him? He is your colleague. And copy and complete these sentences using 4 of the words in A. Take a look at these sentences. Use some of these words in the gaps. The doctor told his to take the medicine regularly. 20,000 watch the football match. And also we have shops try to attract more by cutting prices. What is the meaning of cutting prices? It means making some sales. The bus was completely full and so no more could get on. So what are we going to say? Let's see. Okay, we are going to say the doctor told his patients to take the medicine regularly. 20,000 spectators watched the football match, and we have shops try to attract more customers. And the last one, the bus was completely full, so no more passengers could get on. Okay. Now, take a look at this exercise. Complete the sentences with the correct form of make or take. You can stop the video and you have 2 minutes to do this. So go ahead. Let's take a look at the answers. If you are going to the post office, could you take this letter for me? So, could you take this letter for me? It means to carry. Nobody. Pigeons fly home. It's a natural instinct. Nobody makes pigeons fly home. It's a natural instinct. They special food for homing pigeons. What are we going to say? They make special food. Oh no, someone has our best pigeon. Someone has taken. If you've missed your bus, you could a taxi instead. You could take a taxi instead. It's the same meaning as hire. Okay, take a look at exercise number 4. Choose the odd one out. Write the reason. Here we have a set of vocabulary. So we are going to add, we are going to cross the word that is not related. Here we have relative, doctor, nurse, and patient. Which one of these? All of these are related, but the relative is not related, so we are going to cross it. The word is relative. The reason the others give or they talk about medical treatment. Give or take medical treatment. And here we have boss, colleague, friend, manager, brother, sister, father, teacher, driver, passenger, mother, traveler, acquaintance, college, daughter, stranger. Let's take a look at the answers. Okay. And here we said here the one that we need to cross it here, boss, colleague, and manager, all of them are related. Maybe they work all of them in one company, but the friend is not related. The reason you see the others at work. And here we have a brother, sister, and father and teacher. Which one is not related? Maybe the teacher, because the teacher is not from, you can't see him in a family. So the others are relatives. And the next one, which is the mother, we have a driver, passenger, mother, and traveler. The mother, others are all connected with traveling. And then we have the daughter, we need to cross it, acquaintance, colleague, and stranger. None of the others describe a relative. None of these are relatives, but this one is about a relative, so we need to cross it. Okay. Let's take a look at the summary. Let's recap what we did today. First of all, remember, passive voice is an inversion in the sentence. We start the sentence with the object. And remember, when do we use the passive voice? The object is more important, so we stress it. When the object is more important, so we stress it. And we don't know who is the subject, or we don't want to say who is the subject. There are 6 steps to change a sentence from active voice to passive voice. So go back and study them again. Be careful to use the correct passive verb forms with different active sentences, tenses. Take and make can have different meanings. Use them wisely. Thanks for watching.